Well, guys, this is a camp within a half a mile of the Gateway Center, and this video was taken on Friday. This is a place where the city says they've especially focused on outreach and enforcement of illegal camps. So we went out to the same place 3 days later to see what, if anything, has changed. The tune at this homeless camp is the same as it has been for days.
What do you use the sword for? That's quite the piece.
That's just my little, I like swords, I like knives. That's my little, people like guns, people like bikes. That's what
This camp is within a half mile of the Gateway Center. The city's Good Neighbor Agreement says they will focus on this area and enforce the city's camp removal policies. We went by the camp on Sunday.
So when's the last time the city has come to this spot?
Friday.
They came here Friday?
Yeah.
And what'd they say?
And they just tell us, but we need to pack up our stuff and move it out of here.
We went back to see Jonathan and his partner Heather on Monday.
But did they come by today at all?
No, they didn't. They just passed by us for some reason.
And word has traveled from the courtroom to the streets about the legal fighting surrounding homeless camp removal.
They're not allowed to touch a homeless person's belongings, that they don't have a purpose to come and mess with us anymore. Because honestly, I feel like the city people that come and tell us to leave honestly enjoy throwing our stuff away.
Is there a break somewhere in that communication?
Well, all I can say is we're all human.
Maria Wolf, the homeless innovations officer for the city of Albuquerque, says since the legal action started, the city is much more careful with how they are throwing away stuff at encampments.
Or how many times it's something that happened prior to that practice being put in place. I mean, this may be something that happened 6 months ago, and they're still upset about it. And I would understand that.
Now homeless folks are supposed to get notified 72 hours before a cleanup team comes through, and Wolf says the city has opened up storage space to save stuff from getting tossed.
They ain't gonna help anyway. They're just that's how it is.
72 hours after the city first showed up to this camp, the song goes on. So neighbors near the Gateway Center, they're not happy with the growing camps there. Meanwhile, oral arguments are set for the state Supreme Court on Wednesday. Maria Wolf, who you just heard from the city, she says she'll be there as our state's highest court will set the rules for how these camps get cleared out in the future. There are plenty of people,
I think we got this. We've done it before.
like Erin Bazok and her friends getting on the water this 4th of July. But the Rio Grande can be dangerous. Danny Walsh's family is about to find out why. Danny Walsh is floating on the far right. His wife and kids have no paddles and no life jackets, and the river is pushing them straight toward a downed tree. His family floats on, but Walsh is now in trouble. We were here interviewing Corrales Fire Department. That's Chief Martinez on that tree right there. We witnessed some floaters on tubes go straight into that. He became knocked off his tube, and now he's struggling against the current. This is a very dangerous situation, and they've just called in the Swiftwater Rescue Team. You can see Chief Martinez putting himself at risk to try and get to Walsh. He's instructing him to try and wrap his legs around the tree to keep him from getting pulled under. Walsh loses his hat as he starts to lose his strength as well. Things go from bad to worse as Chief Martinez loses sight of Walsh. Now Walsh reemerges. Chief Martinez tries to find him.
Yeah.
Struggling for breath, Walsh yells out.
I'm gonna throw you another rope. I got this one right now. Okay. Another rope, got it.
Walsh grabs the rope and Martinez pulls him to safety. Exhausted and out of breath, Martinez asks,
Did everyone else make it through? Hope so.
By now, Corrales Fire has called for backup. Martinez, while still holding the lifeline for Walsh, is already thinking about the 4 others that have floated by. Martinez jumps in his socks to help Walsh finally get back to shore.
I hit that tree, and it just took me right underneath the tree. Yeah, so I should have had a life jacket on.
His family, who heard the sirens, were able to get to shore and ran back.
Were you stuck?
Oh, yeah.
In the tree?
Yeah.
For just now?
Yeah. I almost did.
Okay, Tommy.
I couldn't make it.
Chief Martinez says he was just doing what he was trained to do. But Walsh thanked him anyway.
He could have lost his life today.
Because Corrales Fire Department was ready and waiting, everyone is going home this 4th of July. That law was passed in 2020, and it's picking up steam this year. This is the paperwork from the 28 times someone attempted to remove guns from someone else in the metro in 2023, and one of these cases was put to the test today.
I have actually never seen this in my 3 years as a prosecutor. This is extremely rare.
That's because William Ortiz might be the first person in the state accused of violating the red flag law first passed in 2020.
Extreme risk firearm protection suggests that the defendant is absolutely a risk to the community.
Extreme risk firearm protection order is the legal jargon for the red flag law. Initially, it is used like a restraining order to try and temporarily remove someone's guns.
You never know, but it may save someone's life.
Earlier this week, we talked to 2nd Judicial District Attorney Sam Bregman about the increased use of red flag laws in the metro.
I think law enforcement here in Bernalillo County has bought into this as an effective way to help get guns out of the possession of people that are posing an extreme risk to themselves or to others.
When you look at who is attempting to remove guns from potentially dangerous people, law enforcement leads the way by a long shot. 19 times police have tried removing guns from people. Doctors attempted 4 times to remove guns from patients, followed by wives, an ex-girlfriend, and a couple of neighbors just this year.
And this was actually filed, it looks like, by a medical professional.
In Ortiz's case, a medical professional noted Ortiz was recently shooting out a car window, had suicidal thoughts, and possibly intended to be shot by police. Ortiz was arrested for shooting a gun in the air while wearing body armor on the same day the court ordered he turn in his guns. His defense attorney says Ortiz is a security guard.
It wasn't him dressing up like Rambo, it was him dressing up for work.
Well, that is even weirder to me, to be honest.
Ortiz was charged with violating the red flag law, negligent use of a firearm, and battery on a police officer. Ultimately, Judge Jennifer Warnersbach decided Ortiz will stay in jail.
I do think Mr. Ortiz may pose a danger to the community if released.
And now we know police are filing most of these petitions.
Yeah, it was kind of a surprise. APD's crisis intervention team was very active. 19 times law enforcement have tried to remove guns from people accused of everything from domestic violence to shooting up a school, or in one instance, shooting up an Albuquerque church.
Wow. Do we have any other common themes, I guess, from what you've gathered in the documents?
So in these 28 cases, there was a lot of instances of mental health. There was a lot of alleged meth use. And an important note, all of these petitions were not granted. For example, there was a case police tried to take guns away from somebody because they threatened to shoot up a school in 2021, but that petition this year didn't go anywhere. But tonight, new video is revealing Alec Baldwin's history with firearms on set. And for the first time, we are seeing Baldwin actively firing guns on set. It appears to be for a rehearsal, but tonight we're asking, how important will this video be when this case goes to trial?
Alec.
Recently obtained video from Alec Baldwin's cell phone shows the actor shooting, exiting the church where cinematographer Helena Hutchins was killed 1 week before the tragedy. This video, filmed vertically, is a common way to record cell phone footage. Another video, filmed horizontally. The wind blows off his hat, and another video shows Baldwin with a different gun. Investigative documents describe Baldwin shooting in what appears to be almost in the direction of the individual filming the video.
This seems to be in contrast with what we're learning the protocol to be.
We went through the videos with KOB4 legal analyst Ahmad Assad.
So everything that we're seeing here means something more relevant to those experts that are trained with a keen eye to know whether this protocol is appropriate or not.
Prosecutors claim Baldwin deviated from known standards and that many instances of extremely reckless acts directly caused the death of cinematographer Helena Hutchins. Do these videos move the needle in one way or the other for you?
For me, I would want to know more in terms of the context and how things are done in the industry.
The other question, Alec, who was filming? Case reports describe a female's voice that seems to sound like Hannah, as in Hannah Gutierrez-Reed, the film's armorer. The FBI lab determined there were multiple live rounds found in a number of different places around the set. Assad says, knowing what we know now, seeing Baldwin aim toward anyone while shooting is...
That's the only troubling part. Can it be explained away? We don't know. Can an expert explain it away? Perhaps, but not knowing more, I think we're left with a little bit of a void.
We did not hear back from Baldwin's defense team. The district attorney's office says they had no comment on the videos. And the local TV news industry is small. Today we learned the name of the photographer injured. He got his start here at KOB4. His name is Jesse Walden. I worked with him, sometimes off the clock, as we tried to deliver stories that we thought would knock your socks off. Today we are all dealing with an array of emotions, from relief that our colleague is alive to grief and anger that more than one family has been shattered. This is how most conversations start with Jesse Walden.
How you feeling?
Amazing.
Of course, amazing. Oh, I can't believe you just said that.
Despite laying in an Orlando hospital bed, Walden has not lost his sense of humor or optimism.
It's interesting. This is both my first and my last semester here at News 22.
Walden got his start at New Mexico State University. He was interested in film, but found his calling at KRWG in Las Cruces.
I would always text my mom, and she would text a lot of her friends, and last semester they would start having parties to watch News 22.
His degree carried him to KOB4, and his fearlessness?
3, 2, 1. You okay? Our photographer Jesse was hit directly by the first bottle rocket.
Propelled him to new heights. As a KOB photographer, he'd go anywhere to get the shot, even for a ride on top of the Sandia Peak tram. Eventually, that took him to Orlando, Florida.
A woman was shot in her car, so we rolled out there to go do a live shot at 4 o'clock.
They were covering a homicide.
The crime scene had already wrapped up, so we had no real clue of where the car was previously. And apparently I ended up parking exactly where that car was before. I guess whoever this guy is, something wrong with him, but he was shooting people all day who parked there.
Jesse and his reporter, Dylan Lyons, were in an unmarked vehicle. Jesse got out of the driver's seat and was going to open the trunk to get his gear. Then he heard gunshots.
I turn around because I'm like, oh, there must be a drive-by shooting going on. And I see that he's shooting at me. I was trying to figure out if I could kind of play cat and mouse with him and avoid being shot. Then a photographer at another station ran over and rendered aid to me and actually helped to put pressure on me and, got his hands all bloody, like keeping me alive.
He was shot once in the groin and considers himself lucky.
Then I was waiting for the ambulance to get there. The neighbors opened the car door and they said, oh, this guy's dead. And he said he's been shot in the heart.
How you doing?
Dylan was a reporter I work with every day. We were best friends. And he was just a sweet guy. He was young. And he really did a good job. He loved trying hard. And that's what we like to do. We like to push the boundaries and we like to get our hands dirty.
Dylan Lyons was 24.
And it's so unfair that it happened to Dylan, that he died.
Jesse says he thinks he's going to make a full recovery. His mom's with him in the hospital. She's from Las Cruces, but 3 other people had their lives taken that day. Of all the people that worked to make the Twin Warriors Golf Club a great place to play,
then I got 2 groups after that are all playing together.
Irvin Johnson stands apart.
Okay,
he's better known around here as...
My nickname is Nui, and I spell it N-U-E-Y.
Nui says he's worked here since they opened.
Working for the Santa Ana tribe has been a great joy for all these years.
For more than 2 decades, he's been helping golfers get started.
What's the end of the fairway? 135 from right there. Everybody get a burrito ball on the first hole. It's like a breakfast ball in Texas and in Arizona. And this is New Mexico. It's a burrito ball, not breakfast ball. And they get a kick out of that.
Sharing tricks.
And I watched the smokestack on that plant down there to tell me which way the wind's going to be blowing for a while.
And even safety tips.
There's a lot of rattlesnakes here in the summertime.
On this particular day,
hey guys, how you doing?
the golfers are showing their appreciation.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh, well, thank you, sir.
To you.
Thank you. My gosh, this guy knows me too well. Thank you, sir.
Nui is turning 84 years old.
And at my age, I'm happy to see everybody, but especially you guys.
You might want to mention he's as old as some of the petroglyphs.
He says his advanced age isn't all that different.
I feel like it was when I was 54.
And he has no plans of slowing down.
Retirement? What's that?
Even though those closest to him are elsewhere.
I was married. My wife passed away, but I've never had any other family members out here.
He's never alone on the links.
Yeah, oh, a whole bunch of them.
He has the people he greets every day.
Appreciate you and all your work. Happy birthday.
And if you ask what his secret is,
I just thank God every day that he gives me my life. Just thank him every day, for sure.
you can tell what's most important to him when you see what's always riding in the front seat of his car.
I don't feel I deserve all this, but God's blessing me. I tell you for sure. Pro Shop, come in.
That's Nui. He is sharp as a tack.
Yeah.
He was telling me about a hole-in-one he hit 6 years ago, just like play-by-play perfectly. He's also got some stories to tell. He walked UNM South with Tiger Woods and his dad back when Tiger was a college golfer. I'm sure he's got a lot of stories.